Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope this video can make it a bit more fantastic, and in this one, I'm going to show you how to build a super simple, one-wide, tileable minecart loader. I have a couple things I want to mention before we get into how to build this thing. The first is that I have a separate video on how to make this companion unloader. If you're looking to make that as well, you can check out that video. It'll be linked in a card up in the top corner, as well as down in the description. And the second thing I want to mention is that all credit for this design goes to Horst Herbert. I'll have a link to their channel as well as their video on this in the description. I'm just doing my own version on the tutorial, trying to make it a little more in-depth. And with all that said, let's get to building it. And to build this, this is everything you're going to need. This is for one unit. This is, of course, tileable, so multiply these numbers by however many you want to build. But if you want to pause the video, take a screenshot, get your materials together, and we can get building. So to start the build off, you're going to place down one regular rail here and here, and then right in the middle you can place down one of your blocks of redstone with a powered rail on top of it, and then you can put down your detector rail. And once you have those three rails in place, you can go ahead and place down your detector rail, followed by one of your building blocks. I'm just going to be using wool here. Place down another rail on top of there just so that it puts the detector rail up at an angle, and then you can break that regular rail. And now you should have something that looks like this. Next, you'll put your fence post down on top of that rail there, and you can put one of your hoppers down on top of that detector rail there, and you should now have those floating in the air. After that, you can come over to the back, place down your comparator, followed by another one of your building blocks, followed by your last block of redstone. I've got one extra here. And then you can place down your 2 bits of redstone dust on top of those. At this point, your setup should be looking a little something like this. So if you've got everything correct so far, the next thing you're going to want to do is take your observers. You're going to want to hold down shift so you can crouch and put an observer like that so that it is looking at the redstone line. Once that observer is in place, you want to go up on top of it and place down your second observer, followed by a building block. And now that you're up here, you can grab the rest of your hoppers and place them down in a chain so that you have one flowing down. Then you're going to want one coming over and another one going down, and you should now have something that looks like this. So if everything looks good so far, you can come over here and place down your last observer. Make sure to hold down shift, and then you can grab your sticky piston and place it down on the back of that observer there, and now your system should look like this. So all that's left to do is place down your input chests at the top here so that it hangs over that hopper there, and put in your minecart, and your setup is now finished. So the way this system works is that this fence gate interacts with the hitbox on the minecart, so when it comes in, it cannot go back out. Items feed down from that chest through the hoppers into your hopper minecart or minecart with chest here, and this comparator reads the signal from your detector rail, and once that minecart is completely full, it will put out enough of a signal. It will change this power 14 to a power 15, triggering this observer, which will trigger the observer above it, which will provide power to that building block there, which will lock this hopper, which will update this observer, which will one-tick this piston, which forces it to retract the fence briefly, allowing the minecart to roll out and then come back and repeat the process all over again. So of course, this design only works when you want the minecart completely full. If it's one item short of full, it will not budge. If you were looking for a setup that you can customize how many items you want the minecart to pick up before it leaves, check out my previous tutorial on this setup here, which allows you to customize how many items you want the minecart to pick up before it leaves if you don't want it to be full every time. And so with all that said, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Be sure to go check out Horst Herbert's original video on this, as well as some of my other videos if you'd like to. And if you enjoyed this video, if it was at all helpful, make sure you hit that like button. It'd really help out. And if you want to see more videos in the future, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button too, and I will see you around.